भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टाप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरि ओम तत्सत्। Someone can share verse number 1, chapter 11. Arjuna Uvacha मदनुग्रहाय परमं गुह्यम् आध्यात्मसंज्ञितम् यत्त्वयोक्तं वचस्तेन मोहो अयं विगतो मम। अर्जुन उवाच मदनुग्रहाय परमं गुह्यम् आध्यात्मसंज्ञितम् यत्त्वयोक्तेन वचस्तेन मोहो अयं विगतो मम। अर्जुन उवाच मदनुग्रहाय परमं गुह्यम् आध्यात्मसंज्ञितम् यत्त्वयोक्तं वचस्तेन मोहो अयं विगतो मम। Word translation. Arjuna Vacha. Arjuna said, Mad Anugrahaya, just to show me favor, Paramam, supreme, Guhyam, confidential subject, Adhyatma, spiritual, Sangnitam, in the matter of Yat, what, Tvaya, by you, Uktam, said, Vachaha, words, Tena, by that, Moha, illusion, I am this, Vigata, as removed, Mama, my. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Gopal Ki Jai. Arjuna said, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. Please repeat. Arjuna said, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential subject matters, my illusion has now been dispelled. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This chapter reveals Krishna as the cause of all causes. He is even the cause of the Mahavishnu, from whom the material universe emanates. Krishna is not an incarnation. He is the source of all incarnations. That has been completely explained in the last chapter. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he says that his illusion is over. This means that Arjuna no longer thinks of Krishna as a mere human being, as a friend of his, but as a source of everything. Arjuna is very enlightened and is glad that he has such a great friend as Krishna. But now he is thinking that although he may accept Krishna as the source of everything, others may not. So in order to establish Krishna's divinity for all, he is requesting Krishna in this chapter to show his universal form. Actually, when one sees the universal form of Krishna, one becomes frightened like Arjuna. But Krishna is so kind that after showing it, he converts himself again into his original form. Arjuna agrees to what Krishna has several times said. Krishna is speaking to him just for his benefit. So Arjuna acknowledges that all this is happening to him by Krishna's grace. He is now convinced that Krishna is the cause of all causes and is present in everyone's heart as the super soul. Om Ajnanatimandasya Gnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkrupattamaham Vande Sri Gurum Denatarya Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Swapadantikam. Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. So thank you all for joining. So here we're reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, the universal form, Visvarup Sandarsana Yoga. Try to understand first the connection why Lord Krishna is speaking. This chapter has been described here, especially why about universal form in the middle of 6 chapters in the Bhakti Yoga, why it is described, and and why is it? What is the connection between the chapter 10 and 11? Then we'll try to see the sections. We'll try to understand this verse, especially the Anugrahaya. Mad Anugrahaya Paramam is the most important word or line in this most important verse. So the first thing is the connection between the chapter 10 and 11. So chapter 10, we see as Lord Krishna, as Arjuna is asking the question in the almost in the 10th chapter, middle of the 10th chapter, 16 to 18. Please describe how we can think of the Lord and concentrate what forms, Kechu Kechu Bhaveshu. Explain about the opulences, his opulences described in detail, so that I can think, I can meditate, I can concentrate. That was the Arjuna's question. So Lord Krishna gave some of the details of those opulences, and then at the end, this Lord is concluding or summarizes in 2 verses. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam srimat ujjitam eva tatta devava gachatvam mama teja ansa sambhavam. So knowing that all opulent, beautiful glories of creation sprung from just a spark of my splendor. And then further he concludes, Atava Bahuna Tena Kim Gnatena Bhavajana Vistabhya Maham Idam Krishnam Ekam Sena Sthito Jagat. What need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge with a single fragment, Amsa, single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. Basically, so in 41 verse is talking about, Krishna is talking about his majesty, Vibhutimat, his excellence, Srimat, his extraordinary strength of Ujjitam. So it is all coming from the just portion of one my power, which is especially by one portion of his Paramatma form itself. He is able to pervade, he is able to maintain and do everything just from one portion. So in the 42 verse, we are saying, yeah, that is what where it is mentioned. Atava bahunatena kim gnatena bhavajana vistabhyamaham, especially vistabhyamaham Krishnam ekam senasta, that is Paramatma form, fixing myself in this in the world which I have created, supported by being its basis, superintending the world. So by its ruler and controller. So in this way, Krishna is explaining. And Arjuna is also thinking, that's why this verse we can see. Now he has, so far in the 10th chapter, he has heard the description in an audio, or he heard about it, but he hasn't seen the visuals. So now this is the 11th chapter is being the visuals, because Arjuna last 2 verses are describing, he's talking about just by one portion of this, everything is being pervaded, he is able to maintain everything. So what need is there? That's why he's asking now. He wants to see that form which Lord Krishna is describing in 10th chapter in face to face. So that is a connection. But it is also Mad Anugrahaya, means he's talking about Paramam. Mad Anugrahaya Paramam Guhyam Adhyatma Sangitam. The most confidential knowledge has been revealed here. So that 11th chapter, even though it is describing the universal form, it is talking Visvarup Sandarsana Yoga, but it is talking about the complete, to come to the pure devotional service. This is just one portion. This is just the first point of universal form, or Brahma Jyoti is coming from the actual original personality of Godhead. So that's why this is included in the 11th chapter, in between, in the middle 6 chapters, because it is still describing the confidential knowledge didn't end actually. The most Gushya Tara, Gushya Tamam is in the 9th chapter, most confidential knowledge, because it is Siddhanta has been revealed. 24/7 one must chant, 24/7 one must engage in the service of the Lord, one must associate with pure devotees. That is the most important aspect. We are coming to it soon. Associate pure devotees and serve them. Then the most confidential knowledge will be revealed. And further it is being continued in the 10th chapter, opulence, in great opulence, so that we will be able to, wherever you see, then everywhere you remember Krishna, just like the gopis. That example also will come to that, Madhanugrahaya. So on the 11th chapter is also further continued, and that ends with also the first verse and the last verse is connected. Mad Anugrahaya Paramam, it is mentioned. In the same way, we will see in the last 54th and 55. So in this chapter, there are 55 verses. This is the chapter where Arjuna speaks most verses, most 32 or 33 verses. Arjuna is speaking in this chapter. And Lord Krishna is speaking only 8 verses. And 14 verses, and Sanjay is speaking 8 verses. So this is the biggest chapter for Arjuna, especially, is glorifying the Supreme Lord after seeing. So from universal form, then Lord Krishna shows it is coming from the 4-handed form of Narayana. Even 4-handed form of Narayana is coming from the 2-handed form of Radha Shyam Sundar, Krishna, Nandanandan, Yashodanandan Krishna. He is the original personality from whom everything is coming. So that is the internal reason to reveal the highest rasa, the highest conjugal rasa at the highest topmost level. For others, for external reason, to those who are rascals and fools, you can say, for them to, they may, many people these days, everybody is Baba, everybody is claiming to be God, to show that nobody can claim that they are God. Then they have to show the universal form. They have to show the 4-handed form. Then they have to show the 2-handed form. If they can do that, then they can claim as God. But nobody can do that. So Prabhupada himself has talked many times about this aspect. So that's why the 11th chapter is also significant. Mat karma krun mat paramo mat bhakta sangha varjana nirbhaira sarva bhuteshu. So last verse is also very, very significant, where Krishna is telling, you should think of me always, and you should engage in my service constantly. Mad anugrahaya param. So that's why the first line and the last verse is very, very important. Mat karma krun mat paramo mat bhakta sangha varjita nirbhaira sarva bhuteshu yassa mameti pandava. So he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of life, and who is friendly to every living being, these 3 things, then he certainly comes to me. So pure devotion service. So 11th chapter is talking about pure devotion service, especially for devotees. Others may take this as the universal form is the topmost. But if it is topmost, then why Arjuna is asking to show, and then further, no, he wants to show the origin of this form. Then the 4-handed form. Then the further origin of 4-handed form is 2-handed form. So that's the connection from the actual 10th chapter to 11th chapter. Why the significance? Why it is kept in the middle of the 6 chapters? Because it is still talking about the Gushya Tama, the most confidential aspects. Because it will not be revealed. These details will not be revealed to anybody other than who is a pure devotee of the Lord. Arjuna as being the friend, Arjuna being the pure devotee, this detail was revealed in the middle of 6 chapters. It was not revealed in the first 6 chapters, neither it is mentioned in the last 6 chapters. Specifically, it is only revealed because it is the confidential. Even though that's why others may speculate in many different ways. They're not able to understand this 11th chapter. And they can never be work for Krishna. They will never be able to serve Krishna. They will never be able to make the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna supreme goal of life. They will read Bhagavad Gita, it will be minus Krishna, which is of no use for them. So that is a connection, that is the significance. Now let's look at the sections of this chapter, 11th chapter, the sections, there are different ways to look at. The detailed ways 1 to 8 is Arjuna's requesting Krishna's requesting for universal form to be visible, to show universal form, and then Krishna is describing his universal form in brief in 1 to 8. That is the first section. And the next section is 9 to 32. Sanjaya is describing of Arjuna's vision. So this is Sanjay. And then 32 to 34 is Lord Krishna is talking about time I am and my instrument. And then the 35 to 46 is Arjuna's prayers. And then 47 to 55 is only pure devotees see Lord Krishna's two-armed form. Not everybody can see. They may see Lord Narayana's form, 400 form, but they cannot, not everybody can see two-armed form, Shyam Sundar Krishna. So these are the almost 5 sections. And then sometimes it is described also as 2 sections. Just Arjuna's requesting universal form and Krishna describing the universal form, 1 to 32. And then 32 to 1 to 31, 32 to 55 is become my instrument. So in this way, this chapter is being laid out. Now, in this verse, the first verse, with the first line, if you look at it, Mad Anugrahaya Paramam. Now, Mad Anugrahaya means, Anu means always following, or also means constantly, regularly, every day. Anugrahaya Paramam. That means only when we serve the Supreme Lord through a bona fide spiritual master, constantly, regularly, then the confidential knowledge will be revealed. Then the actual his glories will be revealed. And Lord Krishna also wants to, because in this chapter, what Krishna is saying is just like in office, we may think that generally the boss or the CEO or the leadership, they may maintain, they may control, they may supervise, all those things. Lord Krishna is also doing. But Arjuna is not interested in that. Arjuna is interested, and Krishna is also not so much interested. Lord Krishna is interested in actually enhancing the relationship with his devotees, glorifying his devotees constantly. And he wants to serve. He wants to become subservient to the devotees, pure devotees, not those who have material desires. These are pure devotees. So that is why, so here it's Lord Krishna is specifically Mad Anugrahaya means is always, is especially trying to develop intimate relationship with his enhancing the intimate relationship with the devotees, rather than just maintaining, controlling, correcting. And rather, Lord Krishna in this verse is talking about, if you want to know me, if you want to develop relationship with me, deep relationship, intimate relationship, then you must constantly serve me, whether you like it or not like it. Because when you have love, then only you will be serving. If you don't have love, if somebody is not doing service, that means they haven't developed love. They are mechanically doing things, whether it's chanting or hearing or reading, whatever the devotional aspects, which is all good. But unless somebody has developed some love, some affection for Krishna and spiritual master, then only they will be doing the service. This is the indication, this is our parameter. If somebody is doing service, the highest epitome of service is Gopis of Vrindavan. To such an extent that one time one of the gopi was meditating. Then Nardan was surprised and shocked. How come? I never saw a gopi meditating. Gopis are always thinking of Lord Krishna. How come? Then he went, and then he tried to talk to her, tried to say something, but she was not completely, not even replying, responding in any way. Then Narada Muni called other gopis and see what's happening here. Then they mentioned, then they basically brought that gopi back into this discussion. Then it was mentioned that I am trying to take out Krishna from my heart, from my mind, from my intelligence, from my thought process. They want, because it is impossible for them to take out Krishna from their heart, because they are completely overwhelmed to such an extent that while they are cooking, while they are feeding the babies, whatever they are doing, as soon as they see something, they see smoke, then they are thinking about Krishna. Anything they are seeing, they are immediately Ekam Sena Sthito Jagat. It is describing the highest level is the gopis are seeing anything and everything. What they see, what they hear, immediately they are thinking of Lord Krishna. And then everything is getting burned. Their roti is getting burned, their kids are crying, everywhere it's a mess, and the husbands are shouting, and it's a chaos. But they are not disturbed. That means they are constantly in service to Supreme Lord. They didn't care about anything and everything. They just simply want to please the Supreme Lord. This is the highest epitome. We cannot imitate this, but the underlying point for us is one must try to develop this loving service to the Supreme Lord and spiritual master. How will we develop? Is through a bona fide spiritual master only, by a bona fide spiritual master only. So that it is mentioned in Narada Bhakti Sutra, verse number 32 and 33. A very, very important point. How important is a pure devotee of the Lord, spiritual master? We take it very lightly. Remember this, once in a lifetime opportunity. When you are associating with a spiritual master, especially the pure devotee of the Lord, the high caliber, then it is like a high voltage, 10,000 or 50,000 voltage of power you are also trying to associate with. You can imagine what happens. Everything will be burned out. We will be purified, even just by darshan. Just by darshan. This has been described in Narada. Narada Muni Bhakti Sutra is describing that. We take it very lightly. Association, taking darshan, hearing from him, serve him. Nothing will matter. Job, nothing, not a single thing will matter. That is the once in a lifetime opportunity. How serious it is, because we are hanging almost many lifetimes after lifetime. This is going on, but we are not understanding what is the ultimate goal of life. We want to reach the ultimate goal of life, developing this intimate relationship with Krishna. It is only possible from a spiritual master, not any other methods. Not any other methods. Narada Muni is mentioning, Nahi amyani tirthani cha deva mruchyalamaya te punanti urukalena vaishnavo darsanena cha. The last two lines. Te punanti. Punanti means purified. Urukalena. Very, very quickly, rapidly. Vaishnavo darsanena cha. Just simply by taking the darshan. Not even associate, not even the serving. Just by darshan. Before verse 32 is mam mamasmaram vapi putra kartum ihagata murtimad brahma tejohi mama bhagyat upastitaha. It is my great fortune that you have come to my ashram to purify me. Indeed, you are the personification of spiritual prowess. Mere bodies of water are not the real sacred place of pilgrimage, nor are mere images of earth and stone the true worshipable deities. These purify one only after a long time. But a saintly Vaishnava purifies one immediately upon being seen. Immediately. You see the result. Because we take it very lightly, very cheaply. That's like Prabhupada mentioned, God is not cheap. So if you want Krishna to reveal it is the ultimate confidential glories, then we have to become his instrument. Mad anugrahaya. Constantly one must serve. No matter what reversal, especially Ramanavami is coming in. Throughout Ramayana, we see this point again and again. You look at Vishwamitra, you look at Jatayu, you look at Hanuman, you look at Ahalya, you look at any of the personalities, most of the personalities, reversal after reversal. Starting with Kaikeyi, right? Lord Ramachandra had to, and Dasharath Maharaj had to go through these reversals. But especially Lord Ramchandra, he just simply carried on his duty, reversal after reversal, but still he carried on. Hanuman had to go through so many reversals in his executing his duty. Did he stop? No, he didn't stop. Jatayu, did he stop? When he couldn't fight, he cannot fight with Ravan. Knowingly went on fighting, despite he is about to lose his complete his life, but still he was not hesitant to do the service, because this is mad anugraha. I mean, this is what it is. If you want to be actually recognized by the Supreme Lord, you want to the revelations of the ultimate, the confidential knowledge, then one must execute. Just like the Brahmana in Sri Rangam, simply reading Bhagavad Gita, he doesn't know how to read. He doesn't know much the language. Neither he understands the essence, but simply carrying on the instructions of his spiritual master. His spiritual master told, just read every day. Without fail, he was reading. And by simply doing that, in point of time, very quickly, he was able to come to that essence. He's seeing Lord Krishna on the chariot and taking the chariot driver position, and he's remembering that and seeing that form, and he's crying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is discussing with him. This is the highest. You understood actual Gita essence. Everybody is laughing, but actually you are the greatest personality who understood actually the essence of Gita, because he's simply following. Yasya deve parabhaktir yatha deve tata guru tasyevahi katita prakasante mahatma. Only the person who has really unflinching faith in following the instruction of spiritual master, unflinching faith in serving the Supreme Lord. Guru is always telling, serve the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada is always telling, serve the Supreme Lord. No matter what difficulty will come through others, other devotees, or in our life, job, family, how will we do? We must simplify in order for this mad anugrahaya, constantly following the instructions of spiritual master, constantly, regularly, without any deviation. That is what anu means, anugrahaya. That means first one must simplify his life. We complicate our life in such an extent, we don't have time for Krishna. This is the one of the important instructions of Prabhupada: simplify, simple living, high thinking. What does that mean? We may be in US, we may be in IT job, doesn't matter. Whatever this is, simplify, gradually simplify things in life. More we complicate, yes, this money is not enough. Let's have 4 more avenues. Let's work day and night. Let's do 24/7. We can go on. We have done this enough lifetimes. We have to make an effort. Try to serve the Lord. We cannot go without a single day without serving the Supreme Lord, period. Because we are so much filled with anarthas. How we are going to come out of it? If you are not going to serve, how will we come out of it? If you are not with touch with fire, how will we become? Iron can never become fire unless it is put in fire. So that fire is Supreme Lord and spiritual master. And Supreme Lord will never reveal. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani swanta svena gatavrata. Actual real tirtha is the spiritual master, Guru. He is the real tirtha because he is the one who is carrying. Because by taking a bath in Ganga, it will take many days and months and years, maybe lifetimes also, to purify. That's what here Narada Bhakti Sutra is teaching. Te punanti urukalena Vaishnavo darsanena cha. So that's why it's important aspect. We take it very lightly. Remember this point. So no matter what, we must do. Or let's not put a roadblock. Let's not come to the comfort zone. Especially, we will tell that because COVID, Prabhu, this Prabhu, that Prabhu. This is all there, always there. At some point of time, these things, whether it's a COVID or some other problems are always there. Material world means problem is there. So when we put ourselves in this comfort zone, and then we put certain roadblocks, then we cannot do service, because we are complicating our lifestyle. If we simplify our lifestyle, then it will help us to do service. Otherwise, it is very difficult. And here, same thing. Prachetas, Lord Shiva is instructing, same to the Prachetas. He is telling, how will we attain the supreme goal of life? He is talking about Vindate Purusho Amusmad Yad Yad Ichchati Asatvaram Mad Gita Gita Suprita Sreyasam Ekavallavat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the dearmost objective of all auspicious benedictions. A human being who sings this song sung by me can please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a devotee, being fixed in the Lord's devotion service, important point, such a devotee, being fixed in the Lord's devotion service, can acquire whatever he wants from the Supreme Lord. That means if you want to see the Supreme Lord, it is possible. If you want to talk to the Supreme Lord, it will be possible. Whatever we desire, everything will be possible. There is no impossible. Only when we are fixed in the Lord's devotion service. If you are not fixed in the Lord's, then how can we expect? We cannot expect. So here our Lord is trying to develop and enhance our intimate relationship with each and every soul. There is no discrimination. Lord is trying from his side for many lifetimes. We are the one who are putting roadblock after roadblocks. We know Ramayana, but we are not realizing, we are not trying to follow those personalities. We hear, oh, nice story, nice katha, but what are we doing in our life? So that we have to take and put it into practice. Whether it's Jatayu or Hanuman or Sugriva or Vibhishan, you take every one of them gone through maybe lesser degree or higher degree, depending on which personality we take. Ahalya, every one of them has to wait so long and go through so many reversals. Still, they are trying to connect and develop and serve the Supreme Lord, and without any roadblocks, and trying to do their best. So that's what we have to come to. Here, Prabhupada makes a nice purport for this verse where Lord Shiva is telling one must be fixed in Lord's devotion service. Yam labdha chaparam labham manyate na adhikam tata. If one can attain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has nothing to aspire for. Nor does he desire any other gain. When Dhruva Maharaj became perfect by austerity and saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, he was offered any kind of benediction he wanted. However, Dhruva Maharaj replied that he did not want anything, for he was perfectly satisfied with the benediction of seeing the Lord. Except for the service of Supreme Lord, whatever we want is called illusion. Vigata. What did Arjuna say? My illusion is dispelled. Why? Because he has surrendered to the Supreme Lord and he is trying to become instruments in the hand of the Supreme Lord. In the beginning, what did he say? No, he doesn't want to become an instrument. He wants to do what he likes to do. Generally, this is what our tendency is. While worshipping the deity, while cooking for the deity, while cooking for the devotee, whatever we do, it is what I like. Is it giving you pleasure to me or not? But this is not the actual ideal situation for developing our intimate relation with the Supreme Lord. It is what Lord likes. It is what Guru likes. What Srila Prabhupada likes. It may be painful for us. I am telling from my thing, I am telling last 2 weeks, it was not easy at all. It was not easy at all. I had to spend a lot of effort to make a connection to the spiritual master, to do some small, teeny service. It was not at all. I have to take, even though I have job and everything, but I had to make really strong and hard decisions. Otherwise, it is impossible for me to make even do little service. I learned my lesson. This is the important lesson. This verse is teaching, and somehow or other, by the Guru's mercy, I was able to connect that point. I was able to come to that. At least I was able to do some teeny service and leaving everything else behind. Otherwise, we don't know when we will come to this, when we will come to this path. We are just still in the beginning, but we'll never be able to realize this ultimate truth. Theory, or it will stay always as a theory only. It will never be practically become practice in our life. It will not become anugrahaya. There will not be actual supreme mercy. Yes, Krishna will show the mercy in the form of power, in the form of money, in the form of everything else. Not the actual real mercy means we become the pure devotee, and we always thinking of Krishna, we are always serving Krishna, we are always pleasing Krishna. We are not thinking our own pleasure. That is actual real mercy. But generally people think that, oh, Krishna is giving me everything. Yes, that is giving for even to animals, other living entities also is giving. But actually that is not the real mercy. So that's why it is very important. That's why Prabhupada is making this point. Yam labdha chaparam labam manyate nadikam tata. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So whatever we want is called illusion. Every living entity is eternal servant of the Lord. Therefore, when one engages in the service of the Lord, he realizes the highest perfection of the life. So then if we don't want to do service, we are trying to complicate our life, then how will we realize? Okay, Prabhupada is making that simple point, but we are taking it very lightly. So that's where our problem is. A faithful servant can fulfill any desire by the grace of the master. Again, read that. A faithful servant can fulfill any desire by the grace of the master. So more we try to serve the master. That's why, Prabhu, I am hearing classes. Prabhu, I am serving. Should I still need to read? Open read Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada books, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam? Of course. Because if you have love, then why don't you read? Why will you not read? Right? If you are thinking of Krishna, you are trying to develop relationship with Krishna. When will you stop? You'll never stop. You're always reading, you're always hearing, you're always serving. You'll never stop because you want to know more. If you are developing a love with some person, you want to know more about that person, what he likes, what he doesn't like, where he wants to go, what he wants to be offered. Everything you will know, you want to know. You will be running after. If you are, so that's why we must read. But we think, no, I'm hearing, I don't need to read. Or I'm reading, I don't need to hear. Or I don't need to do service. No, all these three are important. All these three are important. And we must always try to glorify the devotees also. And we see that Sri Prabhupada and Krishna is glorifying, constantly also glorifying. He wants to become subservient of his devotees also. So that's why it is very important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is glorifying his devotees. And Chaitanya, throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see that. He himself is always trying to serve his devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is showing by his own example. So then we become humble and humble and humble. More we grow, more we become, because we are constantly glorifying the devotees, we are constantly trying to serve the devotees and serve the spiritual master also. So that's why Prabhupada's point is very important. A faithful servant can fulfill any desire by the grace of master. And one who engages in transcendental loving service of the Lord has nothing to aspire for separately. Right? If I am a son of a rich man, why will I ask for anything? Because he is going to give me. Right? So if Lord has everything, then what is there for me to ask? If I serve him, he will not. He is maintaining the whole living entities, all so many 8.4 million species. Then will he not maintain me? No, he will maintain me. Rather, he will give anything and everything because he knows exactly what we need, what we don't need. So that's why that is the real mercy. That will be the real mercy when we try to serve the Lord in the way what Lord wants to, the way Lord likes, the way Guru likes. So that's why it is important. All his desires are fulfilled simply by engaging constantly in Lord's service. Lord Shiva shows us that any devotee can be successful simply by chanting the prayers which he has recited. This chapter, 24th chapter of 4th canto, such a significant chapter. Instructions after instructions. Every verse is a gem. So many instructions. Lord Shiva is instructing Prachetas. So very, very important, um, important chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam, instructions of Lord Shiva. So now, so as we understood, so Mandu Anugrahaya Paramam, Hyam Adhyatma Sangitam, Yat Tvaya Uktena Vachastena Mohoyam Vigato Mam. So the illusion will be dispelled when we try to serve the Lord. Yes, sometimes there are family situation, job situation, all these things, roadblocks will come. First, we have to come out of the comfort zone. We have to sincerely pray to Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Guru, submissively, day after day. We should never leave. It may be days and months. We don't know whenever, because it's up to the Lord. Because I'm praying for a few days, few months, Lord has to listen and give and make everything perfect in our life. No, he doesn't need to do. He's not obligated to do. Only if we have done with out of really affection, like a child, like a Sakyaras, Dasyaras, Vatsalras, mother, some affection, not by out of duty, then he is not obligated to do. Only when we do with out of intense affection, then he is obligated to do. So that's why we have to develop that relationship, and it takes time. That means we have to try to serve the Lord in a personal way. More and more we have to become personal with devotees also and with Lord also. That means we have to give up. Means if it is cold, it is cold. Like what kind of water we should give. We want, when it is up to us, we want to eat hot food and everything nice and fresh and everything perfect. But when it comes to the Lord and devotees, then we don't think all those things. We tend to become impersonal. So this that's why we have to constantly churn our consciousness and mind and ask the Lord, ask the Guru, please reveal me how I should serve, what way you like, what you want, how you want me to serve in every aspect. There is no perfection in our life. We should never be complacent that after 20-30 years I have perfected my worshipping deity or whatever, Prabhupada service, whatever service, it may be garlands, it may be cleaning service also. We can never become perfect. The highest epitome is Gopis of Vrindavan. Srimati Radharani is saying, forget about me. She is not thinking. She is saying, come to Vrindavan. You forgot Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. You forgot about all the cohort friends, your elderly gopis. They are how they are living. They are constant. They are in completely in despair situation. Please, at least you should come to pacify them. You should come to satisfy them. You should give some happiness. Come to give happiness to them. This is Srimati Radharani saying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Srimati Radharani submitting in front of Jagannath, Lord Jagannath is submitting. This is in the chapter 13 of Madhya Leela. Very beautiful chapter. So that's why it is very important to know Madhanugrahaya. So in this chapter, as I mentioned, so he's not more than he's maintaining, more than he's controlling, correcting. He's ready to Lord Krishna wants to actually develop intimate relationship. That's why he has expanded. Otherwise, he's self-sufficient. He doesn't need anything from us. The only way why he had to create all this is because he wants to have that loving relationship with all living entities. So many types of living entities, so many forms, 8.4 million species he has created because he wants to develop that loving relation, different rasas, different relationship with each and every living entity. But we are the one who is staying away from the Lord. We don't want. Lord wants us, but actually we are the one going against the Lord's will, Lord's thinking, feeling. That's why Prabhupada made it. Thinking, feeling, willing of the desires of the Supreme Lord, instrument of the Supreme Lord. So that's why the chapter is very important, because become my instrument. That means if you have a veena, that is an instrument. You are making, you are stringing, you however you play, that will make it has to make that sounds. Instrument doesn't have its own independence. So if you become an instrument in the hand of Guru, Supreme Lord, that means we don't have independence. What we like, what we don't like. It is our whatever Guru wants. Is thinking, feeling, willing. They are always desiring. Oh, Guru may want me to do this. Guru may like this. Prabhupada may like this. Lord may like this. So let me find out, let me try to serve. So more we read, more we hear, more we serve, these things will be revealed. If we don't even try to do that, we become more and more complicated in our lifestyle, then how will it be revealed? There is no possibility of that revelation. So that's why in this chapter is also reinforcing, cementing, like a cement is very strong, when you especially mix with concrete and water, is reinforcing that Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and revelation that reinforcing is comes from by service, serving the Supreme Lord. And then that's why the chapter 12 connects from that 11th, 11:55, 54 verses, because he's talking about pure devotional service. And he's glorifying his devotees. He wants to bring up the quality of a devotee. That's why he's telling, Mad Bhakta Sangha Varjita. Don't be friendly to all living entities. Then only we become friend to the Lord. We are envious of the devotees, or we envious of any person, even to enemy. We should be, especially if we we are trying to become a devotee, even to enemy, whether we like it or not, like we should serve. We have to talk to him. It is to please the spiritual master. It is to do service of the Supreme Lord and spiritual master. We have to talk to him. It is not, oh no, I don't like this person. He is always putting roadblocks. No, it is not what we want to do. It is what Guru wants to do. And Prabhupada has given clear instructions while going. Cooperate with each other. Then whether it is not a question of what we like or not like. We have to work with each and whoever we got. In Prabhupada's time in the beginning, hardly few people. We have so many devotees, and we are in comfort zone. So that is our problem. So that we have to come out of these comfort zones and remove these barriers and come to serve Srila Prabhupada with full force. That is what. If you want to be realized, if you want things to be revealed, all the confidential knowledge and confidential form, conversation, you want to discuss, you want to converse with Krishna and Guru intimately, then we have no choice but to do this only. Mad anugrahaya paramam. So this is the way, then it will be revealed. Otherwise, there is no chance for Lord or Guru to reveal. And it will be revealed through Guru only. Here, obviously, Krishna, Arjuna, in this case, directly the Supreme Lord is a Guru. So that's why he is directly revealing and giving him the service. But in our case, we have to serve Guru, spiritual master. We cannot directly jump to Krishna. We must serve the spiritual master and constantly desiring to please him, constantly wants to hear and try to serve his associates, his representatives. In that way, we understand what actually Guru wants me to do. He may have given instructions to others that we might try to serve them. So then we understand what those instructions are. By assisting them in those instructions, then it is as good as following these instructions and serving them, in pleasing them. We may not have received instruction from Guru, but if somebody else received, by assisting them, then automatically we are also a part, becoming instrument in the hand of Guru. So that's why this is up to us. This is we have to develop that sincere desire. If desire is not there, then it's difficult. Then if desire is not there, at least we have to follow those 4 instructions Krishna is giving. Keep offering obeisances, even if it is mechanical, as Prabhupada said. At some point you will realize. Same way, mechanically do, at least serve mechanically, even if we don't have any other thoughts coming up, then we still at least mechanically touch the feet of Srila Prabhupada, become personal at least. Try to offer. When we go to temple, even at home, where the Lord is covered, where the Prabhupada is covered with properly, like we want, when we sleep nicely. Is it happening the same thing with our deities, with our Prabhupada, Guru Parampara? This is what constantly we have to become personal. More we become impersonal, things will never be revealed. Guaranteed. Because when you become impersonal, universal form, what's happening with Mayavadis? What's happening with Brahmavadis? They are impersonal. Then where they will go? Brahmajyoti, come back. As devotees on the outside, as devotees, and inside we are trying to become impersonal. What will happen? Things will be revealed? No, it cannot be revealed. If we become person, we are trying to be in touch with the personality, great personality, supreme personality. Then we have to act in a personal way, more and more intimately. then things will be revealed. So that's why it is Mad Anugrahaya Paramam has a greater significance. Only given glimpses of it. The much more details we have to understand through this throughout Ramayana. This significance is there, and we dwell through each and every personality of Ramayana, and we will be able to understand this actual Mad Anugrahaya. What does it mean? So thank you very much for listening patiently. Please correct me. Any questions, comments, corrections, reflections, please reveal.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for this wonderful class, Prabhuji. I was just contemplating on the point that you were saying amongst devotees also we need to just have we should have loving relations with all the devotees. My question is like even when we are trying to have from our side we are willing and we are trying our best, still some devotees are very hostile. So how do we deal with them? Like they are putting a block themselves and just creating a very hostile kind of an environment for somebody. Then how to address this kind of a situation?
Good question. I would say still serve. We may not be able to serve so intimately, may not be regularly, but whenever we see them, we still say Hare Krishna and we try to serve them. We give them gifts, whatever way we want to. We can within our capacity and try to help them. They are doing some service. Can I help or assist you in any way in your service? Anything? So even though they may not ask, but you can try to help them in. And then if sometimes they, or most of the times they say no, Mataji, I'm doing this already, no, don't disturb me, don't do this again and again, they are saying, then they may not want to take help from us. Then you do indirect service. So you offer the gifts, you smile, you say Hare Krishna, and don't keep anything, grudges, anything in the heart. So it's up to Krishna and Guru to correct them, reveal them. So because we don't have capacity to correct them, so it is only we can pray, but we should keep it positive spirits and leave it up to Krishna, because more we think about their qualities in a negative way, then it just we are losing our time in achieving our path of perfection. So in our service, we don't our time is very limited. So that's why more we concentrate on the positive qualities and leave the rest to Guru and Prabhupada and Supreme Lord, and try to serve in whatever capacity we can. And so Lord Guru will take care of the rest.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
In Srila Prabhupada case also you can see, Srila Prabhupada, some of the devotees are not following. Some of the devotees left, some of the devotees took the money, and so many, even for regular, we are not following. And even sometimes they did even more mischievous things. Still, Prabhupada, given time, he didn't become, he didn't leave them. Still he tried to serve them, tried to assist them, tried to help them, give the time. Rather, devotees told, no, Prabhupada, this devotee is that, this devotee is that. No, how can you give initiation to him? There are so many devotees told so many things. But the Guru exactly knows, so Prabhupada knows, because he has to be more merciful. So that is the job. That says if Srila Prabhupada has given his whole life. So that's why we must do service, Mad Anugrahaya. So nothing should impede us, nothing should bother us. Prabhupada had to take so many things. So if Srila Prabhupada has taken his whole life, taking so many difficulties, so many challenges, so many inconveniences, then what about us? We are minute. So it is our duty to please him, our duty to serve him in the best capacity. Our life, blood, and everything must be given. Still, we can never fulfill that indebtedness to Srila Prabhupada and Guru. It can never be. Lord Krishna himself is telling to gopis, I can never repay the debt. Because that is what intimate relationship means, that's what it is. So that's why we must, then we will never think of negative qualities of others. Just keep on serving, keep on serving. That's what Srila Prabhupada did. Did he think about other things, Prabhupada? Yes, he had to face difficulties, even among devotees, among his god brothers, to establish even as one temple, Juhu, or many other temples. So many difficulties he had to face through. But Prabhupada didn't budge. Prabhupada just went on. Because just to please Guru, his spiritual master said, certain instruction given, just trying to carry on. Thinking, feeling, willing, day after day, week after week, he went on with that only. Nothing bothered him. So, by sincerely praying, by sincerely submitting to Srila Prabhupada, so that's why before coming to, he has become an instrument. So Prabhupada has become instruments in the hand of his Guru. So that's why before Prabhupada came here, what did he do? He went to Advaita Acharya Bhavan, he went to 6 Goswamis, he was constantly praying to Srila Rupa Goswami. So that is what I have learned. So that's why I'm constantly praying to Guru Srila Prabhupada, Srila Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada, reveal this verse. Otherwise, what qualification I have to speak? Nothing. Neither I have material qualification, neither I have spiritual qualification. So what will be revealed? Even though we may try to become a scholar and read many books, try to understand, we'll never be able to actually, points may not be revealed, real things. So that's why we have to submit. There is no other choice for us. We have to submit to the acharyas. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is showing, his whole life is showing that example. That's how he got initiation in the first place. Because he was simply sitting in front of his Guru. His Guru is talking about the spiritual world of Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan, in a high-end language. He was speaking what happens there. But Sri Prabhupada, in humbly submitting, I was not able to understand everything what my spiritual master was speaking. But simply I was sitting and trying to listen, trying to follow. So that's by seeing that only, as Guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Goswami Prabhupada, Lion Guru, he has given initiation by just simply seeing. So that's why, don't think that, Guru is not there in our association, in our Sangha. Guru is not there in our temple. He's not watching us. No, he knows, because Lord reveals what devotee disciple does. He doesn't need to be there in person. He will be revealed. He will be revealed. So that's why more we try to hear as though Guru is there personally with the devotees, more the way we converse with devotees and interact and serve devotees, then as though Guru is there personally, then that will help us. So that's what Sri Prabhupada is teaching us by his own life example, how he's doing everything so minutely, so precisely, timingly, very consciously, with a clear, everything is very clear. But if you go to kitchen, what we do and what Sri Prabhupada has given, no comparison, no comparison. So Prabhupada clearly told, you have to have a hairnet, your nails cannot be there, period. Everything should be clean. That means you are cutting things, nothing should fall. If it falls, you have to take it, put it in the dustbin. Throughout your cooking, nothing should be there. Means as you put in the, something comes out from your peeling, whatever, that has to go in the bag. It cannot be anywhere. But if you see in the kitchen, what we do, we have to improve this, because instruction is coming from the lifestyle. Why the what's his name? Satswarup Goswami Maharaj had to write 6 volumes of Srila Prabhupada's life, because this is what we have to take lesson and we have to put in the practice. If we don't practice, then how we are going to imbibe his mood, his consciousness, his instruction? So that's what we have to carry on. So that's why we have to take lessons as we read the instruction. The essence has to be taken and applied in our life. Then nothing will bother us. We simply carry on the duties no matter what's going on around us, we're simply carrying on as a bumblebees. We'll just go on serving, keep giving it to every devotee, whether enemy or not friendly. So, mad bhakta sangavarjita, nirvaira sarva bhutesh. We have to come to that. There is no other way about it. There is no question of whether we like it or not like it. Yes, we may not be intimately friend with somebody. We may be intimately friend with somebody, devotees or other outside circle also. Yes, there is possibility. Yes, in Krishna circle also we see that. Some are very closely, some are a little bit distant, but they are still have a relationship. So because there has to be, right, in pure devotees also, when Mother Uttara is speaking, Parikshit Maharaj is speaking, Uttara is asking questions, is describing grades within pure devotion itself. Tara, I forget the terminology used in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Almost 5 or 6 or more levels within even the pure devotees. No tinge of any kind of material qualities, even at that level. So that's why we shouldn't worry. Oh, I may not have intimate relation. We should worry that don't think of, oh, they are my enemies or they're always criticizing, they are putting roadblocks. Just let them do whatever they want to do. We try to serve in our best capacity, try to please them, try to offer them whenever we see them, whenever we are in close connection with them. And then we carry on our duties, we try to serve in other ways, not try to look at, oh, when he will become pleased with me, when he will become normal with me. That is up to Guru and Srila Prabhupada and Supreme Lord. It is not our question. So our question is how to carry on the duties, instructions of Guru and Srila Prabhupada and Supreme Lord. Hope that is okay, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much for very detailedly explaining it, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very bad.
Very good. Amritanand Prabhu.
I just have a comment to make to Mataji's thing about the practical application of how to deal, because interpersonal relations is most important for spiritual success. In absence of that, no matter, it just there won't be any progress. So this evening I was listening to my Guru Maharaj's class, and this very topic, this very question was asked. And how he explained it is, you so nicely have said about we need to be serving, always be in the service mood, even if we think that somebody is not getting along with us. Each one of us has a personality, and each one of us has a past, and we're gradually trying to do it. So the first point he made is that any person who's done any kind of devotional service, that is very dear to Guru and Krishna, and they'll never forget it. So when something happens, a friction between two people, first of all, we should understand that it is because of our shortcomings that we are feeling this way, and we are seeing the holes in somebody else. That is our thing. The second is, when we talk about Trinada Pisunichana and respect and all that, how Maharaj explains it is that the service or the respect that we give others, it could be very overt, and it could be, as you said, you could be smiling, you always be thinking of serving that person. And at times, you can even dissociate because the influence could damage your sadhana. But at the same time, internally, you're offering obeisances to that Prabhu or Mataji. And the example he gave is of a tiger. So he says to serve the tiger doesn't mean you go and hug the tiger, but you'll always think well of the tiger. And the final point is that whenever there are differences, and we kind of butt heads with each other, in such a situation, remember that the other person is also serving Guru and Krishna to the best of his ability, just as I am doing it to the best of my ability. And since both are focused on serving Guru and Krishna, then accept it that the way he's doing it is the way he's doing it and the way you're doing it. So it's not that whether you're right and he's wrong or something like that. So yeah, that was very nicely explained, Prabhu. And the whole thing depends on interpersonal relationships. Most important. Most important. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Amritanku. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for adding. I had also heard that you just pray for the person who's like feeling that envy or whatever that you're noticing that they're having towards you. You pray for such people so that they'll come. It's not like I don't have it, I also have, right? So we are praying for them as well as when we are praying for them, Krishna himself will help us internally. So despite doing that, still when there's like not that we are causing any stoppage in their service when they are causing our service to be stopped, right? Then I was just thinking, then what to do? Should you just, does humility like Trinada Pisunichana, right? Does humility really mean that you just allow them to use you as a doormat like that, or like you just speak up and say this is incorrect, but that I'm not at that stage to even say this is incorrect or incorrect. So I'm just letting Krishna decide whatever has to happen will happen. But in my end, I was just thinking, how should my internal mood be to just continue? Because it's very true, as you said, if interpersonal relationships are like hampered, then sadhana is also like in the morning you're like it's kind of disturbed, and I don't want to have a disturbed sadhana because somebody else is doing it. It should definitely my own shortcoming, my own past karma which is acting, and I get that, but still to have a peaceful sadhana, how to deal with that, that was my basic question. So I appreciate both your answers. Thank you very much. Hari Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Janaki Mataji posted a question. Oh, what if dealings is with non-devotees who directly causing suffering verbally or physically, etc.? Yeah, that is natural in this material world. So you can try to see, stay away if possible, minimize our time in our association and intermingling with them as much as possible. Sometimes, obviously, we cannot avoid being in the job or being in the closely together in the same apartment or whatever the case may be. So then we try to do our best and try to do our things. We may have to, but still minimize as much as possible. So rather than spending in a room or apartment, we may be spending the time in library, spending the time in temple, or spending the time in somewhere else. If they're keep on causing disturbance, what else can we do? So we have to find ways to, if within our capacity, if we can help them to turn away from those negative things, bring them to positiveness. Yes, that's well and good, great. But we may not be, many times we may not be in that capacity, because generally most of the people, they may be more expert than us in how to push us down or how to put us in difficult situation. So rather we try to do what will allow us to do more service, what will allow us to progress. That's what we have to see. At the same time, we give them prasadam, we give them the ways. We have to understand that personality. Some people may like prasadam, some people may like books, some people may like clothes. You still give gifts. If it doesn't like prasad, yes, you buy a t-shirt, you buy some kurta pajama, whatever the case may be. You can buy something which he likes, then gradually, slowly and gradually they may change. If you are constantly trying to serve, then at some point they have to think, double think, and think twice before they say something bad or do harm. Because you're constantly trying to serve, do good to them. So they have to, at some point they will realize that this person actually trying to do good to me, I'm being always becoming critical of him or her. So I think that's what I can think of. Hare Krishna. If anybody else has any other thoughts, you can share. No,
That's
further questions.
it's wonderful. Yes, I mean, we should always remember the story of Prahlad Maharaj and Haridas Thakur, and we should pray for them, and we should not have any revenge or any kind of ill feeling because of yes, only Lord can save such people, and our good deeds always protect them. We should pray for them, and yes, try to avoid as maximum as possible, even verbally and physically or situation. We should be always prayerful for them, so that some point of time there will be an effect. Prayers have such a wonderful effect, and we should do that. We should pray to the Supreme. The Lord will intervene, like Prahlad Narasimha intervened how in Prahlad's forsake, and so like that. When there is no other options, yeah, that's all. We should use our intelligence properly, situations, and we should pray for them.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam Prabhu.
Humility doesn't mean. Sorry, go ahead, Prabhu.
No, go ahead, Prabhu. After that, I'll talk.
Thank you. Humility is not doesn't mean we don't defend ourselves. Defend ourselves in thought, defend ourselves by word, and defend ourselves even by action. Early days of Mayapur temple, when they attacked the temple, I think it was, I forget the Swami, Prabhupada disciple.
Bhakti Raghav Maharaj.
Huh?
Bhakti Raghav Maharaj, who lost
even Jayabhadra Maharaj was there.
Yes. Yeah.
He actually took a gun and he went on the terrace and he started firing on all the people who were attacking the temple and Vaishnavas. So, that's not out of arrogance or out of ego. It is our duty to protect ourselves. And a bigger duty is to protect the Vaishnav. So humility is not taking anything, any nonsense. Yes, definitely we are not wishing ill or revenge or hoping something bad happens. But Krishna has given the ability, and when we are stuck, many a times the mind doesn't know what's the right thing or the wrong thing to do. That's why the association and the relationship with another Vaishnav who is a little bit ahead, he or she would be able to guide. And that again comes to the Vaishnav relation, revealing our heart, the innermost feeling that we have, as well as being a patient listener when someone is talking with us. So humility is definitely, and how to implement it, that's also important. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Ashish Prabhu, go ahead.
Ashish Karna Jagannath Prabhu, go ahead quickly. I have to drop off at 8:30, but go ahead. Ashish
Okay, Prabhu. But similar type of question I had actually, just
go ahead.
Prabhu told that. So if someone is non-devotee, devotees understand something Shastra and other thing, but in that you are talking about this thing in the ideal situation, in ideal community, not the ideal community, that very gentle community. But if you deal with the aggressive man, a non-devotee, what to do for that?
Aggression man, what is the last point you said?
Non-devotee.
Non-devotee, yeah. What was the question?
Question is that what to do in that situation?
One who is trying to physically harm a devotee, or
yes, harm or scolding or something, some verbal attack, something, various way.
Yeah. As I mentioned, means we have to see, means do we have the capacity to react and calm that person or explain that person and make them understand? We can try a minute or two and see if we know the person previously, and then depending on that we can leave from that place, try to minimize basically, yeah, because it won't be good for him, because he's offending a Vaishnava. If best thing is if we can try to resolve that situation by our abilities. If we think that we will not be able to do, then we have to say Hare Krishna, whatever we want to say, and then get out from that place. And what else can we do? Because especially that is being given, because it is not, neither it is good for them, because it is going to cause greater harm. Lord will never like a person ill-treating a Vaishnava, then he will be into more trouble. So, and then we have to hear the offensive words. That means we are also taking the part. So if we are not able to condemn that person, not able to bring him down, then rather we may leave that place. That's what Shastra is telling. Gurus are telling instruction. You run away from that place, or you, if you are not able to convince or bring him down from his thing, so you have to stay away basically, because it is not good for us. As per if he is trying to offend Lord and devotees, trying to criticize devotees and Lord.
So if it is not physical threatening, but maybe scolding, someone scolding you, so what to do for that situation?
Yeah, if we are in a position to bring him down by using our talent, if we think they will be able to handle it, then go ahead. But otherwise, thank you, Hare Krishna, and then move on. We do that all the time. While distributing books, how many times I myself have seen in Apna Bazaar and other places, so many times. Abusive language. What can you do? Will you stop distributing books? Will you run away from the place? No. Because this is the highest service Prabhupada has given us. You can't run away from that place. Yes, if there is a bigger problem, we have to move away from that place and do somewhere else. Yes, that we may do that. But otherwise, we'll continue on. Let him say whatever he wants. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Move on. So that's how I look at it. Depends on the circumstance. And yeah, more we develop in general, your neighbors or office, we have to understand the other personalities a little bit. Then we'll be able to accordingly spend time, or we stay a little bit away. So it depends how we interact, deal. And then obviously this also we have to think. It is based on karmana daiva netrena jantor upapati. It is based on our karma only we are getting together with the other person. It is our karma bringing that consequence into his life and our life. That understanding also we must have. So then we have to try to minimize the situation rather than even increasing that situation more. More we are in that situation and trying to, if we are not able to control that situation, then we have to go away, run away, say something, and then have some other better things to do, or whatever you want to say. So better things to do. So you may think that yes, you may be running away, or he doesn't have this or that. Let him think whatever he wants. But if it again, we have to think it is our own individual. If the other devotee or the Lord or the temple in problem, then we must collectively fight and bring him down. So these things has to be considered. Is it impacting only me, or is it impacting temple? Is it impacting the whole society, sampradaya, community? Then things will be much different. So that's why Trinadapi Sunuchena applies. Is it affecting me, or is it affecting something higher purpose? Accordingly, things have to be looked at differently. So if it is individual case, forget it and then do our other service, whatever we got. Less time we spend is better for us. We have better things to do.
Yes, Babu. Thank you, Babu. Dandavat Pranam, Babu.
Uh,
So, Babu, right now it's 8:32, but I have
Yeah.
another question I cannot ask right now because you are leaving right now.
Yes, I have another class to go to. It's already late. So please send me the message. We'll take up the question. We'll discuss in person. Otherwise, we'll take up in another class. I have to put in Nityam Bhagavad Seva. We'll try to address it. Whether myself or some other devotee can address it. Okay. Thank you all very much.
Okay, Babu.
Sorry, I had to go to another class.
It's okay. Thank you, Proji.
Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhaya vacha
Patitana
patitana
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Namo Vaishnava ki jai.
Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Indra Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Thank
Srila
you.
Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Gopal ki jai. Gauri Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari Bol. Thank you, everybody.
Devotees, thank you so much. And Sunday is Kamanomi. Please join at the temple. Program starts at 5 o'clock. Yeah, there is some service. Cooking service starts early. Jayaprakash, 1 o'clock. That's what
1
it is.
o'clock, yes.
1 o'clock. Dear devotees, please, anybody would like to join for cooking, join at 1 o'clock Sunday, and other services like cleaning. So we'll be also planning some cleanup at the temple, some decorations inside, and putting up the tables. And Abhishek will be there. Arati, Kada, there is a drama, there is a dance, there are lots of programs, lined up. Don't miss out. Please join, and as well, please join for the service at the temple. Yeah, so that's on Sunday. And also, there is a book distribution this weekend at Apana Bazaar, Edison, as well as in Patel Shop here. Probably also on Jersey City, the Newark Avenue, Subsi Mandi area. If you are available, please join. There's a wonderful opportunity to serve, as Proji mentioned, that these are rare opportunities for all of us. Is engaging in the loving service to the Supreme Lord. Yeah, so please join every day, and we have classes every day morning, Bhagavatam class, and evening Bhagavad Gita class. Please don't miss out. So this is our wonderful opportunity and mercy of the Lord, of course. So thank you so much. So let's conclude then today's session, and Hare Krishna, Hare Bol,
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Hare Bol. Didana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.